Once again, good morning. Good morning. To formally welcome us all in our activity today, I would like to call on what we call him the man of all seasons in Capitol. Almost every activity functions Capitol na siya. I'm Mr. Gandhi Governor. So on behalf of the Governor Agadam Chato, and to welcome us all, please welcome our Provincial Legal Officer, Attorney John Mitchell Boyser. A big hand, please.
Thank you, Tots. First and foremost, my respect to Ma'am Catherine Ojeda, our Partnership Development Senior Manager of IJM Cebu Field Office. We also have Rev. Basilan, our Partnership Development Coordinator, still with IJM Cebu. Of course, we have Mandy Ham, our Communications, Advocacy, and Partnership Intern of IJM Cebu. Our different information officers of the province of Bohol, line agencies, we have from the PNP, from DNR, the Department of Agriculture, DILG, of course, the SWD, and maybe from the Prosecution's Office. Yes, of course, no, our friends from the media, which plays a vital role insofar as our dissemination of online sexual exploitation of children. In behalf of the Governor, allow me to represent and deliver his welcome message in behalf of the OSEC Messaging for Tri-Media Practitioners and Public Information Officers Forum in the occasion of your activity today. The Governor is presently presiding a meeting together with the energy sector with respect to the power development in the province of Bohol. As I said, we wish to welcome everyone in your activity today. We thank our organizers, particularly our partner from IJM, the International Justice Mission. As we all know, our IJM partner played a very crucial role insofar as bringing criminals to justice. We all know the apprehension of one suspect that happened last year in Calape, in the person of Vivian Alfuerto Granio. It was because IJM has supported our law enforcement agencies, in particular the Philippine National Police, so that we thank them for their campaign against trafficking against children and women. Online trafficking among children and even women is already prevalent this time. During our mandatory continuing legal education with the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, it was also highlighted that online exploitation of children and women is already very prevalent in the country. Thus, I would like also to re-echo what our lecturers discuss to caution our children, especially those women, because they are always prey to online sexual exploitation. It may happen, though, that at the start of their chatting, friendly ang approach, but then later on, as the perpetrator has already gained confidence on our children, that's the time kamusod na ang ilahang pag-entice sa mga bata and even children. And that is why today's activity is very meaningful, because we have our partners from the media. We have our respective information officers who can very well disseminate and cascade to the different local government units, as well as to the stakeholders in general, to the Boholano community. And also, we would like to emphasize that the provincial government was also an awardee of the Best Partner in Anti-Illegal Recruitment Campaign in the year 2017. We are highlighting this because sexual exploitation sometimes would take in the form of illegal recruitment. We partner with Department of Labor and Employment on anti-illegal recruitment trafficking in persons campaign. We have memorandum of understanding with the different local government units so that at the very level of your respective community, each one is aware of the role of the LGU, including our law enforcement agencies insofar as handling illegal trafficking in persons. This is a serious offense and this is a serious crime. Other than the common or the traditional form of illegal trafficking, we have now online sexual exploitation. It's because of the advance in technology that we are now in. So it follows nga tungod kay na advancements atong technology, we also have certain limitations that we have to take into account, especially for children. And IJM has timely sponsored our activity today so that this will be somehow a wake-up call as we start the year. Ngaunta, in our respective communities, we should be vigilant not only with our children but also with our neighbors, our friends, to make sure that our children will not be victims of trafficking, whether online or the traditional human trafficking against women and children, or in general in persons. You might even notice that in online trafficking, or even the traditional form of trafficking, the perpetrator will always find ways and means to befriend the victims. And in so doing, they will be able to attract them and even lure them. At the end of the day, it is always us, the stakeholders, the parents, and even the different agencies who will be at the crossroad of fighting this form of crime. So again, in behalf of the Governor, we would like to thank you for coming over, and we welcome you all in the occasion of your activity sponsored by IJM. Thank you and good morning.
Okay, thank you very much, Attorney Busher, for that very warm welcome and at the same time an introduction of what we are about to experience this morning. There's no better way to welcome us all and somebody who also has legal advice and experience in this issue. I think our committed legal officer has to leave us for a while because we will also be attending another meeting with the power. So once again, let's thank you, Attorney Busher. Okay, let's now begin. I would like to call on for the introduction of what we are expecting about our activities today, and at the same time introduce our partners from IJM. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a big round of applause Mr. Rev Basilan, our Partnership Development Coordinator. Okay.
Salamat, Sir Tutsi. Again, I'm Rev Basilan. I'm the Partnership Development Coordinator. I'm based in Cebu. I'm working with Ma'am Catherine Noveda, our Partnership Development Senior Manager, and also our new intern from the US, Mandy Ham. She works with me and Ma'am Cathy under the Communications, Advocacy, and Partnership Department of the International Justice Mission. So at this point in our activity, I'd like to call on our Communications, Advocacy, and Partnership intern. She just joined IJM last month, but is already so passionate about this work. And we're so happy to have Mandy, and today she's going to introduce our organization to you. So let's give a round of applause for Mandy.
Alright, thank you for that introduction, Red. Like he said, my name is Mandy, and I'm from the United States, so I'm from Colorado. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Colorado, but it's very cold there right now, and I hear it's snowing. So I'm very happy to be here and in the warm sun, enjoying that and not the snow. This is also my first time in Bohol, so I'm very excited to be here. I was excited to see it, so thank you for having us, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell you more about International Justice Mission. So, like Rev said, I'm going to just give you a general overview of who we are as an organization, and the type of work we do, and how we do it. So just as a disclaimer, any photos or videos that you see of children or minors, they are not actual victims of online sexual exploitation of children, but they're models, they're actors, and we have their permission and the permission of their parents to do this. So who is IJM? We are a global organization, and our goal is to protect the poor from everyday violence by partnering with partners within the local public justice system. So we are a team of over 750 employees around the world. We have lawyers, social workers, community activists, a lot of different employees that it takes to combat this issue. We also work within 17 different field offices around the world. So we have 2 field offices here in the Philippines. One is in Cebu, and that's where the office that we all come from. And we cover the whole Visayas region. So even though our office is in Cebu, we do work and have cases all throughout the Visayas. We also have an office in Manila, and that covers the Luzon, if I'm saying it correctly, Luzon and Mindanao. And so their office is located there, but have cases throughout. Throughout our other field offices, we have them in Latin America, Africa, South Asia, Southeast Asia. So all throughout, we have our headquarters in the U.S. in Washington, D.C., and partnering offices in Australia, Europe, and throughout other areas. IJM's mission, like I said, is to protect the poor from everyday violence. So we hope to bring criminals to justice, rescue victims, restoring survivors to safety and strength, and helping local law enforcement build a safe future that lasts. So we hope to enhance the public justice system by creating partnerships and relationships to help that be a sustainable law enforcement to last even after IJM is in that area. Our vision is to rescue thousands, protect millions, and prove that justice for the poor is possible. So it's exciting because we have already been able to prove that justice for the poor is possible. IJM started about 20 years ago, and throughout our different field offices, we have seen this happen. So now we want to make justice for the poor unstoppable. So we have a theory of change, and this states that many offenders or criminals in the developing countries are not held accountable for any crimes or actions that they do against actions of abuse or violence against the poor. Because of that, because they're not held accountable, it's a lot more likely and a lot easier for them to commit these crimes because they know that they won't be caught, or if they're caught, they won't be held accountable for it. So our theory of change is that when violent offenders are held accountable for the crime, then the abuse of vulnerable victims is going to dramatically decrease. Law enforcement operations not only protect thousands of children, but by doing this, we have an opportunity to prevent thousands of more children from even experiencing abuse in the first place. because then the offenders will know if I do this, I will get caught and I will be held to the standards of the law. So our goal is to raise awareness and to enforce the laws that if you do this, you will be held accountable. So we do this through 3 different phases, starting with collaborative casework. We partner with local law enforcement in responding to individual cases. This case results in tangible rescue and restoration for victims and accountability for their abusers. So like I was saying, there is accountability once they realize that there will be justice, they will go to jail, they will be arrested, whatever the consequences are. It also serves as a diagnostic tool, allowing us to identify specific gaps in the justice system and strategies for addressing them. So then we can better learn where the gaps are, how we can fill them, and what needs to be done to better enhance the justice system. Phase 2 is system enhancement. So we complement our collaborative casework with strategic support initiatives designed to address the specific gaps that we first identified in phase 1. As the performance of the justice system improves and casework results build, confidence in the justice system increases and the prevalence of crime or violence against the poor dramatically increases. We don't want to end there. We want to make sure that the work we're doing is sustainable and long-term, long-lasting impact. And so phase 3, sustaining gains, we work to bolster and document the success of our justice system partners. We reduce our direct casework intervention as well as our direct involvement in the strategic support initiatives. So we want our direct support in those areas to be less and less so that our local partners are able to take full ownership and responsibility in those areas of casework, moving us into an increasingly consultative role, and so that we can be on the opposite end of giving advice and direction, but not being the direct support of it. So when IJM started in the Philippines, our main focus was commercial sexual exploitation of minors. So we have been talking a lot about OSEC, online sexual exploitation of children, but when we first started, our focus was just on commercial sexual exploitation. So with our theory of change and implementing those phases and working with our partners, we saw amazing results. So as you can see here at work, we had 1,748 women and children rescued from sex trafficking. 810 suspected perpetrators were arrested. 151 traffickers were convicted. And 64 establishments, bars, brothels, were closed. They were shut down. So by partnering with local authorities, we were able to rescue victims, bring criminals to justice, restore survivors, and strengthen the justice system. Our strategic support, so like we were mentioning, we want to be able to provide support to local partners within the public justice system. So we provide a high level of support to national, regional, and local law enforcement partners, the Philippine Judicial Academy, and the Department of Justice, and the DSWD and other public and private aftercare providers. So those are just some of the ways that we provide support. So this shows a little bit more of our results from our collaborative casework and our strategic support. From being here, we saw the numbers of our rescues and our convictions, but we also saw and this was in Cebu specifically, we saw a 79% reduction in the availability of minors that were being sold for sex. So a very big decrease after seeing the work and the prevalence of the work that we were doing. We also saw that these results were replicated in other areas that we were working in. So it wasn't just Cebu, but in Manila we saw about a 75% reduction in the availability of minors that were sold for sex, and in Angeles City, an 86% reduction. So an 86% decrease in minors that were being sold for sex. So this is just showing our results and the prevalence studies that show, it exceeded those that were even measured in Cebu once we were able to figure out our theory of change and work with our partners, collaborative casework, and our strategic support in order to implement this. So that is why we have now moved on to focusing on online sexual exploitation of children, because of the sustainable support and the results that is already being implemented for commercial sexual trafficking of minors. Our sustainability, like I mentioned, is so important because without our partners, this is something that we should never be able to accomplish on our own. And so, in order to bolster and document the success of our partners' work, and for us to begin to allow them to do more of the direct casework and the direct strategic support initiatives, we have to partner. And so, kind of where you are all coming in, wanting to be able to inform you and educate you so that you can better fight this issue of OSED. So the strength of IJM's model lies not in the strength of IJM, but rather in the strength of its many partners in the justice system. So you can see our list that we have here. Interagency Council Against Trafficking, National and Regional Anti-Trafficking Police Units, Department of Justice Anti-Trafficking Task Force, DSWD Regional Processing Centers, Shelters, Trainings, and Guidelines, Department of Labor and Employment, Philippine Interfaith Movement Against Human Trafficking, local government units focusing on reintegration and survivor support networks, and local anti-trafficking ordinances. So this is very important for IJM all across the globe. We work with our partners. We see what we can do to help support them, understanding that in order for this work to be sustainable, we have to have partners from all different areas in order to create this long-lasting effect in our work. So thank you for allowing me to explain to you more about IJM. I am now going to pass it on to Mom Kathy.
If you have questions.
Oh yeah, questions?
Questions about IJM? Sir.
They have a contact office here in Bohol.
Okay. Good morning. This Colorado. If I may ask, do you have a satellite office here in Bohol, or who are we going to contact in case?
For now, we don't have any satellite office here in Bohol, but you can, if you have some cases to be referred to, you can contact directly to the PNP, the WCPD, or the WCPC, regional office, or the DSWD. They are our partners. Thank you.
Yeah, and IJM Cebu field office covers entire Visayas also. But for local cases, as Ma'am Kathy said, you can direct it to the local authorities if you want to refer cases. Any more questions? I guess there's none, so thank you so much, Mandy. Let's give Mandy a round of applause. Okay, so
I think for those who still have questions, you can write the questions down as we go along with the forum, no? So people discuss it also. I would like to acknowledge Leo Otuhan from the media, and also from the Inquirer. Okay. And some members of the committee members are also media practitioners. So let's now welcome Kathy, please, for her message for us today. Again, for Ms. Kathy, please.
Thank you, Sir Lindsay. May buntag sa tanan. I've been with the IJM, International Justice Mission, for 10 years na. Kaya na, murag nanguan na. Okay. Specifically for the team sa kaning gitawag communication, advocacy, and partnership team. Actually, we have three main pillars. This was not mentioned before, but we have three main pillars. We have the law enforcement, so that's why they come to collaborate and coordinate with the law enforcers. The PNP, NPI, ATRAD, ACG, and the anti-crime, cybercrime bureau, and then we also have our legal team. They serve as the legal assistance to public prosecutors on fiscals, and then we also have the aftercare. Kani aftercare, mga social workers din namo na they collaborate and coordinate with your local social workers. It may be in the regional level or city level. So, by the way, taga-Bohol di ako. Taga-Tubigon, ay taga-Tubigon representative. Oh, hello ma'am. Oh, notice ka, I think you're familiar with the family ni Muga. Yeah, Muga. Both my parents come from Bohol, Tubigon, Bohol. Oh, your accountant. Okay. Okay. Niya kuan ang mga nani, Belia, Fort, Soria, mga relatives. So my heart really is with Bohol. Bohol jud ko. Pero I was born and raised in Cebu. Pero didn't make it sa Bohol for vacation. Okay. Napamami kuanyas makaas little farm. So that kung mga kabataan, pero nagdako sad na tubinas ko sa Tubigon makaas bakasyon. Okay? Sige. So, first and foremost, I would like to express our gratitude or appreciation for the province government for having us here, for hosting this occasion. Okay, kung wala pa silang Sir Tutsi through the Office of EDCOM and the PIA, wala ni ma-organize ang atong event today. And I also would like to acknowledge the city government through the mayor. We just had our courtesy call yesterday, si Ma'am Jeanette, and the mayor, the good mayor, said that full ang ilahang support in this advocacy. So it's a tandem of the provincial and the city's government to end OSEC in Bohol. So daghang salamat. A round of applause to the government, the province, and the city. Okay. So na-mention ni Mandy kanina na we had a good experience with the CSEC, commercial sex exploitation of children in the last 6 years. Mao gani na that gives impetus to for IJM Philippines na ipaduso pagid nato ang atong advocacy, Now it's what we call online sex exploitation of children. Very specific, but still it's under the anti-trafficking in person, na palaod. Pero kani specific lang ni kaning online sex exploitation of children. Unsa kay laingan aning OSEC? Are you familiar with that issue? Asa man? Okay, cyber sex crime. Mo na filmin natong madunggan sa newspaper or sa radio. So this commonly called cyber sex, but for purposes of kung yun unsa gyud iyahag yung political term, sakto gyud mao gyud ning giingon nga OSEC, online sex exploitation. Ang sa amo lang, our mandate is children. Doon na sa upan nga, doon na sa mga adult nga victims. So, sa nakita nato nga dako kayo ang reduction, no? Ang reduction sa victimized during the CSEC namo nga program. So that this gives us hope nga with OSEC, no, and with our lessons nakuha namo previously with CSEC, no, mapadayon this lesson would serve us more positive experiences to continue with the advocacy, because we already established partnership with the localities, the LGUs, the private, as well as labi na sa law enforcement. So there's always hope, no? Nga naman, ang presence sa aton dedicated and committed partners, labi na sa locality. Secondly, because kita nato nga we have lessons learned in the past that we can succeed, no, in this endeavor. And thirdly, yun na di actual nga cases nga na-rescue ng mga victims. Ikaduha, gawas nga na-rescue, na-arresto yun nato, no, ang mga perpetrators, and some are already convicted. And thirdly, no, na yun natay hihimong nga restoration with these survivors. If it can be done with the time sa CSEC, nanong dili man sa OSEC. So there is always hope in this thing. Bisan pa inyo makita, siguro we'll be presenting to you video tapes, production, nga mga siguro magsakitan inyohan kasing-kasing magtanaw, but rest me assured, we will rest you assured nga, doon na pa'y paglaom nato. And this is because you are here, part in this movement to end OSEC. So next will be the presentation of the video, just to give you a glimpse of what is OSEC.
This is CNN News.
What can sex tourism? Terrorism heeft 1000 mannen van over de hele wereld betrapt.
The names of 46 Australians have been handed to international police.
Investigators.
In 2013, the phenomenon of webcam child sex tourism, whereby men in wealthier countries pay children in developing countries to perform live sex shows online, made headlines around the globe. This was the result of the work of child rights organization Terre des Hommes, which developed the innovative Sweetie project, using a computer-generated avatar of a 10-year-old Filipino girl.
I'm not real. I'm a computer model.
We wanted to discover and find out what is happening on the other side of the webcam. Who are these men? Where are they? How do they establish contact? What happens to you if you present yourself as a child from the Philippines? That's why we went online. That's why we developed Sweetie.
This computer-generated girl put the problem of online child abuse on the world agenda.
We spent 10 weeks, and in the 10 weeks we managed to identify 1,000 individuals, and we passed on all the details of these individuals to law enforcement, Europol here at The Hague, and Interpol for states outside Europe.
This form of online child abuse has been made possible largely by improvements in internet access for the general public in developing countries. Suddenly, inhabitants of the slums of Asia have direct contact with men in the Western world. Many families see this as an opportunity to escape poverty. Very soon it was clear that the vulnerable children of poor, often dysfunctional families became the victims of online child sex exploitation. In many cases, family members were acting as the pimps.
It's so strong, the family bond here in the Philippines. You see that all the time with girls. Like, you know, we hear stories from young girls the age of 11, 12 years old that are being, you know, put under pressure from their mothers by saying, well, if you don't do this kind of work, you know, we cannot buy medicine for your grandmother, and your grandmother will die.
As a consequence of the rapidly increasing demand, there was an explosive growth in victims.
The reason is because there's so much demand. You know, as long as nobody addresses the demand, this will continue to happen, and this will continue to spread. Everybody knows about it in the Philippines. Some people think, well, you know, if I can make some easy money, I'll do it.
It's not only the number of minors that were placed in front of the webcams, it's also the demand for younger and younger children.
I feel really repulsed. These are really very young kids, and their exploitation is, for me, shocking, even at my level as a law enforcement officer already.
To get an idea of how and where this can happen, we have to find a so-called cyber sex den. Investigative journalist Peter DuPont, working with Terre des Hommes, manages to make contact with one after several months of searching. It's a cyber sex den on the island of Mindanao, where children are being abused every day. Thomas and his mother Lanny are running the group. They have 3 computers and they recruit dozens of children from the neighborhood.
Thomas is, he's not violent. You can see that he's trying not to harm the girls, but he's still harming the girls, but he doesn't fully realize it.
We travel undercover to the south of the Philippines in order to gain access to the cyber sex den and to be able to meet the pimps and the victims. Motivated by a potential transaction and trusting Peter, they invite him into their house, which is the cyber sex den. The place is in a notorious part of the city near the coastline. Together with his assistant, Peter visits the house. Thomas, his wife, and his children are living there with his parents and brother. They stay in the house till early morning and secretly make recordings of the conversation. We find out that Peter isn't the first foreigner to come over and visit the girls. Australian and American men have already been there to abuse the children in person.
According to some estimates, 1 in 4 men who start off by just watching the child pornography will then move on to hands-on child sexual abuse. 25%, 1 in 4. Early intervention could stop that, bring that down.
In order to talk to the children in private, Peter requests the company of 2 girls for tonight and 4 younger girls for the next nights. To avoid creating any suspicion, Thomas and Lanny have a system in place to get the girls into his hotel room without being detected by hotel management. To avoid any problems ourselves, we prepare everything in the room.
Come in. Did you enjoy today?
Yeah, I enjoyed.
Really? Because you were so tired.
When Thomas said I will do show with 8 books, I'm afraid.
We learned that an American customer paid $200 to see a sex show involving this 13-year-old girl, performing with 8 young men at the same time. The girls are relieved to be leaving the room without being abused. The next morning, we leave very early because we know that the pimps will become suspicious when they hear that we only talked to the girls that night. And indeed, only minutes later, Peter receives a phone call asking a blunt question. We decide to hand over all our evidence to the new department of the Philippine National Police. For the local police in the Philippines, it's very difficult to tackle this kind of crime.
It's very complicated because you need a victim, you need a witness, and you need evidence. But with live streaming, the victims, these girls won't come forward. Why? They're making money out of it. And the young children won't come forward because their parents are involved in it. So you don't have the victims. Witnesses on the internet, it's one-on-one. There are no witnesses. Live streaming, if you pull the plug, it's gone. So you don't have a witness, you don't have a victim, and you don't have evidence. You don't have a case. So that makes this phenomenon of live streaming so difficult for law enforcement to address.
2 months after we handed over our evidence, the Philippine police completed their investigation. The police are asking Peter to act as a fake customer to help them. That way, the agents can monitor how many victims and suspects are in the house when they do the rescue.
Because she works at night, always.
At the same time, in the South Philippines, the rescue team are preparing the raid and rescue operation.
Kasi we look forward, sir, na kung i-file to sa Quezon City na court later on.
There's mounting pressure on Peter, who's working from the police station in Manila. As soon as there are enough victims and suspects in the house, the police will go into action.
All of them. So 7 or 9. Waiting for more.
They should go.
Like us there?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Good to go?
I think you're good to go.
We gave a body cam to the first arrest team.
Ikaw! Isa lang kita po ba?
Thomas is arrested. In the other room, Lanny, Thomas's mother, is trying to escape. It became the biggest rescue operation in online child abuse in the Philippines, rescuing 12 minors. The youngest was only 6 years old. Five people were arrested, and there were more than 600 foreign customers in the network. It showed again the magnitude of this problem.
A dozen minors were rescued from a house believed to be a cyber sex den in Iligan City.
Therefore, Terrazone will continue to fight this problem. And in the past 2 years, they've developed a new program called Sweetie 2.0. When Sweetie 2.0 can be used by different police teams in different countries, this will have a major effect on the demand side.
So you could stop like hundreds of thousands of men in their tracks, because most of these men have a lot to lose. They're ordinary individuals. That will have a major impact on the number of people active on the internet looking for children to engage in sexual activities.
Although in the immediate aftermath, this raid only led to the arrest of a few individuals, the personal information on the seized computers has now been released to the police investigators by the court, and there should be no obstacles to the arrest and conviction of the hundreds of perpetrators worldwide who will be identified by that material. It'll only be by tackling the demand for webcam child sex tourism head-on that we will make the internet a safer place for children.
Okay, Claro, what is this issue all about? Just one video. You can expect more video presentations, especially they are real stories of victims being rescued later on. We have 2 more videos to present. So, what is online sex exploitation of children? So may definition na to ani. As you said, mo di anyo nadunggan cyber sex, no? So what is cyber sex? So it's the sexual abuse of children viewed and directed live over the internet. Mo ni ang pinaka-simple nga pag-define na to kung saan yung OSEP. It's sexual abuse of children viewed and directed live over internet. So, as you see, diba, ang internet, maayon na. There's advantage kung naatay internet. Isa na ay Facebook dire. Raise your hands. So, daghan no, doon kay Facebook. Ang advantages ani kato ato mga classmate sa elementary pa, sa high school, dali ra ka ita maka-reconnect nila, right? And then if you want more information about things or matters, say gamiton na to. Google, di ba? Pwede sa messenger ta sa atong friends or gusto ka doon na i-message. But, the downside of internet, kaning high technology, o nanintingon nga ito na OSEC. So, statistics would show, kata inyong di ko nga, what's the statistic about OSEC? In 2005, approximately 1 million child sexual abuse images were online. 50,000 new images are added each year. So, nagkadaghan no, mga images ang nanggawas. So, in 2015, there are more than 100,000 commercial websites that offer pornographic images or of children. Kanang nakadungog na mo anang dark website. This is the website na ang tanang mga illegal transactions, illegal practices, illegal business transactions are being done. For instance, mo na ni dunay pornographic kanang suit sa dark website na adiha ang arms exchange, arms sale. No? These are all samples of illegal kaning yung dark website. So, nagtikadaghan, ano? And the sexual exploitation of children on the internet is estimated to be a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it is growing. As the internet proliferates, opportunistic criminals may seize their chance to make money by exploiting children. As of January 2016, nearly 40 million people in the Philippines are estimated to have internet access. So, daghan na kaayo, no? I think, kadaghanan ga ninyo dinhi, dili lang usak cellphone, no? You have 1, 2, 3 cell phones. So, daghan kaayo sa mga Filipinos maka-access sa internet. Okay? That it is 40% of the population and it represents 10% increase over the previous years. Okay. So, unsa may prevalence sa OSEC? So, in 2014, 1,000 cyber theft reports received each month. In 2015, referrals doubled to 2,000, more than 2,000. And in our own IJM statistics, or IJM supported OSEC operations as of December 2017, and we're still counting because we just had rescue operations in Diliran, in Tacloban, and in Lapu-Lapu the other day. So, kani wa pa to na appeal. There were 76 rescue operations, 268 victims rescued, and then most of them are minors. 85.5% are minors, and then age 12 or younger, that is 53.4%. And the youngest, would you guess, pila? Ang pinaka-bata nga na-rescue na mo. 6 years old? Lower. 4 years old? Lower. Any guess?
1 year old?
3 months old baby. Maka-imagine lang mo yun sana. Pero kipaon, di ko ang gis yung mama. Kipaon. Di na lang na mo itali kay kasuka o niya mo. Okay? So there were 121 suspects arrested and 20 perpetrators convicted. This is all OSEC cases. So, kung sa may cycle di ay ani. So, this is the cycle. This is the individual in the Philippines. Okay? Mga perpetrators, they have their children, and they connect to the internet. They can even use their cell phone. And then, the website, okay, it goes to the perpetrator outside the country, all over the world. Pwede kagana ng foreigners, makadawat. Okay? Yeah? Okay, daghan na kayong mga, yung mga, nakita na yung mga suspect. So, dollars coming in, it goes back to the supplier. Okay? Asa man? Through? Global. Yes, Western Union, PayPal, Zoom, etc. They are paid in dollars. Oh, mana $20, $50. Muna mahigong mo ang naa diha sa mga money transfer kanang operators. Mingo din nga, hala, nagsige lang ganig balik-balik si Campulana, si Juana nga Juan, tag $20, ipadala niya. It seems nga, na sila yung relatives from abroad. See? Sa June, pero lisod gihapon. No? Kay, Juan, kanang ato sa dana, we are trying to ask the money transfer organization to help us out in building up cases, but in terms of magikan nila ang kuan ang dili kay there is kuan sa atran no nga dili pwede dunay confidentiality gihapon. Yeah, they don't want to have some skirmishes on that aspect. So kung doon tayo name, ngalan, address, no, specific names and address na ino na to na please check on the track sa ilahan transaction para it can help in building up the case. Pwede na mahimo. Nanda na mahimo. Okay, so this is the whole cycle. Perpetrators. Who are these perpetrators? There are two kinds of perpetrators in OSEC. One is the supplier. Sir Adam, can you please read the supplier? Is how many supplier? Musgala, sir. Musgala. Yeah.
Typically lives in the Philippines.
Okay.
And usually parents, family members are neighbors.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. So, more only a supplier, no? They are the ones providing children to be abused. And then, typically, nakalagay na din sa atong locality. In the Philippines, in Bohol, in, we don't know, well, in Calape, there was things. And then, doon sa ubang kaso sa ubang lugar, no? We don't know, in Tagbilaran, ingo na to, sir, nanas Panglao. Perhaps. Okay. Yeah. And sad to note, most of them are parents, relatives, no? Or neighbors. Ano man, ang mga bata, mga good ka na mutuon ni sila kay of authority. Mama good, papa good. Ino lang ka nga, panagitan ka taong rescue sa Mandawi. Ngayon mo din mama, sige day, mag-show na or do some show this morning para we can pay for your tuition fees. Oh, mingon dayon nga, sige, karon palitan ka na kung bagong sinina. Bata lang taon po, sugot. Like, simple po kayong una-una. So you see, though, kato nga bata, ningon nga sakit kasi yung una-una because she knows na this is something wrong. Pero she cannot express it because they're parents. It's her mom. It's her mother. Kinsa mang laing perpetrator. Okay, the customer. Pwede si Sir Mario. Can you please read the customer?
This is child sexual abuse or child pornography online. Typically lives overseas or abroad. Usually,
Okay. So, klaro na ha? The other perpetrator, no, purchases the child's sexual abuse or kanang pornographic online. Mo ni sila kasagaran yun mga pedophile. Oh. Kanya, of course, they live overseas and they are foreigners. Wala makadungog mo. Bago lang, na-convicted, sa among mga kaso, no? Na-convicted si Brooke, an Australian na naghimo og online. So, 3 counts of life sentence ni Sherbrooke. Doon na siya counterpart, local supplier. Iyang wife, no? Or live-in? Was, no? But anyway, doon na siya local counterpart. Nga, kuwan lang, 1 life sentence. So, it's clear we have 2 kinds of perpetrators. One, locally, the supplier, and second, the perpetrator outside the country, or the one that purchases the child sexual abuse. Mauni kasagaran, this is a setup. May tabo, it's a home-based industry. So, lisod kaayo ma-detect. Gawas kung kailan ninyo makasud mo sa ilang balay, no, then you can do some intelligence work. Pero, lisod lagi, lisod. So there are other ways, no, to detect this, and it can be done because this is a global crime. Dunay mga coordination, collaboration with the global police. So, kung dili mo report ang taga-Tagbilaran, dunay tagagawas ang mo report na something wrong is there's a crime going on in Tagbilaran. So, duwagid unta na nga referral at makuha from abroad, and most importantly, local referrals. So, money siya. Katong inyong one of your what do you want to learn? What are the red flags? How do we know nga there possibly dunay suspected OSEC crime going on in a household? Okay. So, these are the red flags. May I call on pwede Ma'am Ador, please read the red flags, please.
Barriers for internet connections like broadband, packet, Wi-Fi, and data. Multiple social media accounts like Facebook, Skype, Messenger, etc. A lot of male foreigner friends on social media. Frequently collects money from money transfer outlets and unexplained wealth.
Okay. Claro? Other questions? Self-explanatory. Thank you, Ma'am Ador. Unexplained wealth. Ang ato po nung PNP sa Kalape, ma'am, present ni mga red flags in your case, specific to Kalape?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one? Which are the red flags that probably you can pinpoint on that specific case?
The married men
for internet connection, example, the broadband, packet, Wi-Fi.
Can we have the microphone?
The number one, ma'am, the requirements for internet connection, broadband, packet, Wi-Fi, data. We frequently collect money from money transfer outlets, particularly at the Western Union. And so with the unexplained wealth.
So, dili pobre.
Before, but they have purchases a lot of gadgets and tricycles and lots of appliances.
Okay. Yeah, ang occupation, the
father is only a fisherman,
and the mother
is a housewife.
Okay. So concrete yung example, no? These are red flags. No? Kung somebody has this means of internet connection na daghang kaayo, no? That's something to look up to. And then multiple social media accounts, lot of male foreign friends on social media, and then collects money, magbalik-balik, no, sa SEOs, and unexplained wealth. So, any of the above. Pero kasagaran kuyog ni. So, klaro kaniya, OSEC, online sex exploitation of children is a crime. It's illegal. So, unsa mga balaod nga gisupak, gi-violate sa kaning giingon nga OSEC?
Child abuse.
Yes. So, child abuse is RA 7610. Specific on section 9. Okay, unsa pa nga balaod? I-violate.
Local government.
Ha? Sa basa, no? Ang usa, what other laws na i-violate? Si Miss Nash. What other laws that are violated?
Human trafficking.
Yes, exactly. Human trafficking. Unsa pa?
Child labor.
Pwede sad kung it's child labor trafficking. It's still under trafficking. And may child labor trafficking. That's one of the kanang issues under the trafficking purposes. Okay, what else? I heard it, kanina. So these are the laws. Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 9208 as amended by 10364. Nasa Anti-Child Pornography Act, Cybercrime Prevention Act, and the Child Abuse Law. So sakto na, no? So kung tanan nga kini isampa sa usa ka suspect, mo na moabot og 3 life sentences. Labi pa kung sa Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act, considered as qualified trafficking, like parents, no? Violating the Anti-Trafficking in Persons, klaro na nga it is a qualified trafficking, so life sentence. Now let's focus on this Anti-Child Pornography Act. So, RA 9775, it states that, will you please read this, sir? Yun, yan. Palihog basa. Kabasa ka? Okay, ikaw lang, sir.
Okay, based on the topic 9775, child pornography refers to any representation whether visual, audio, or written combination thereof by electronic, mechanical, digital, optical, magnetic, or any other means of child engaged or involved in real or simulated explicit sexual activities.
Okay. So first and foremost, kinsa may atong gitawag nga child, mayo gyud siguro taga DSWD ani. Na? Do you have a representative? Wala? I will say. Can we ask our police officer from the city of Tagbilaran? Ma'am, kinsa may ato ang mag-consider child?
Child is one who is below 18.
Below 18? Ora? Kapailain?
Above 18 but
Okay. Above 18 but
mentally challenged person.
mentally challenged or cannot take care of themselves. No? Bisan pa og si Rep, kung mentally challenged siya, bisan pag-edad na siya og 20, o niya, mentally challenged siya, we still consider him as a child. Right?